Hey guys, it's Millie here and welcome to Journal Engineer. Today we're going to do a really quick mountain theme for May. I'm really excited. It's gonna be, of course, entirely black and white. So let's not lose more time and begin. Here you can see my April theme, which was Cherry Blossom, again black and white. You can see the video in the description, or I think right now in the right corner of this video. I open to my empty pages and start sketching out the cover page. Of course, as always, I'm not so sure what I want to do here. I want to have mountains in the bottom, June calendar in the right, and maybe some kind of moon in the left, but I'm gonna figure it out on a later stage. Now I'm gonna start with the mountains. They're really easy, just with the thickest micron that I have, which is 0.8, I start doing lines. How I'm doing the lines? I'm just doing triangles, like simple triangles. If you have seen my February fantasy video where we did the flying crocs, basically it's the same technique as there. We just sketch out the edges of the mountain. We just want to look more natural. Usually mountains don't have straight edges or something like this, so yeah, I just let my wrist do the things here. After I sketch out the entire mountain line, I start adding the small sketches as the small edges in the mountains. As you can see, my mountains are mainly one type. They're a triangle, and in the middle I have another edge going down. This is because it's gonna be easier for me later to draw the shadows. You're gonna see just in a bit. So I think I'm gonna be finished now with the mountain line. Here is the point where I leave my micron 0.8 and I start using smaller microns like 0.2, 0.1. This drawing is large enough, so I have no point of using 0.05 or 0.03, which are like the thinnest one that I have. So yeah, just prepare a smaller or thinner micron that you have. Before I start the shadowing, I draw from where my light is gonna come. I'm not a professional artist or something, that's why sometimes I need like little tips from where I need to look the object, and that's why I really like to add those arrows to remind me from where the light is coming. So yeah, I advise you to do one as well. I get the micron 0.2 and start sketching out the shadowy side of the mountains. I don't have a specific tip about this. I mean, I try to do my drawings as simple as possible without that much techniques in them. And here the basic thing that I can tell you is that on the dark side of the mountain, I just start to sketch the lines and I overlap them with different directions, so I can achieve this heterochromical shadow, if I can say it this way. So yeah guys, here I mostly follow one simple rule that I imagine in my head how the light is gonna perform in this drawing, and I know that on the edges you see the middle edge right here, like this is in my head, this is a really sharp edge, which means that on the left side of the edge on the drawing I need to have like the darkest shadow that I have. So that's how I do different shadows. Of course, as I said, mountains are not straight edges, so the shadow is gonna vary. Its darkness is gonna vary, and that's why I just decide that one part of the mountains are gonna be more darker than the other, and then I just randomly start drawing shadows. I try to do them more line orientated because, as you know, mountains usually have cliffs, which are lines if you see them from afar. Of course, there are many types of mountains that you can draw, and I'm gonna list some of them right now. As you see, there are some mountains that are really simple, just as I do triangles, but the lines on the shadow side are more wide and more thick, not like that detail that I'm doing right now. You can do this. Basically, this is the most easiest way that you can go with mountain shadowing. The other option is the one that I'm doing right now. Is like a middle ground. I mean, it's detailed but not that much, and of course there's some kind of like master artists out there that can do really good shadowing of mountains, and I truly admire them, but I'm not one of them guys. I just do my bullet journal as a side work, so yeah. Then I start adding some lines on the brighter side as well. If I can divide them on shadow side and bright side, let's do it this way. So on the bright side of the mountain, I also do some shadows because of course the mountain is not just a plain plank there. It has also cliffs and stuff, so that's why I just draw a small lines there that again are freehand, and I also decide to do some more a darker part field. I don't know, I have no idea how this works in my mind and how this mountain is gonna look in the real life, but I really like some diversity on the bright side, not only white and some black lines. So yeah. Then I continue doing the same with the other triangles of the mountains, the other dark sides. As you can see, I do exactly the same. First I add the lighter shadow and then I start adding the darker shadows because I overlap the lines. I think Shia Fury told me the exact terminology of this overlapping, but I cannot remember it right now speaking to you, so I'm gonna research it and pop it right now on the screen. I truly tried this theme to be more minimalistic and to be only mountains and that's all. And somehow my mind decided, let's add trees and let's add a lake. So yeah, here I am again struggling with trees. Usually I don't draw trees this way, but I really wanted to be like coherent with the mountains, so I wanted like obvious triangles on my trees. I promise they get better with time. The thing that I do is just to outline the entire trees and then I start adding the shadows, but first I need to do all the trees. So yeah, I'm gonna leave you to enjoy the process here. It's not that much of enjoyment, to be honest. I really try to have different trees, like tall and short ones, because usually when you look at any forest, you know, the trees are not the same. Well, you see them the same because mostly people look from above and yeah, they don't see the short trees, but yeah, forests are really diverse and I'm really trying to represent this one, although it looks like a drawing of 5-year-old children, but hey, I'm proud of it. I start adding the shadows here. I follow the same basic principle as the mountains in behind. The only difference is that the trees usually are round. I mean, if you can imagine right now, the mountains are triangles like pyramids, and I see the trees as big cylinders, which means that the shadowing is gonna be a little bit different. Like in the mountains, you see the middle edge is mostly the darkest one, and here in the trees is not the case. On the trees, when you draw them, the darkest part of the trees, the shadow one, is mostly on the left. So yeah, I try to do my trees as dark as possible on the left. In this way you can see the border between each tree and they don't look like one big black mess. Of course, I mess up here or there, but hey, it's fine. As I get bored of doing trees, I start again doing something on the mountains. I don't know about you, but sometimes when I'm drawing something bigger and I just get bored of some parts and then I start doing the other parts of the drawing. Are you doing it this way? I'm really curious if it's only me or there are other people that are doing this. Probably they are. I mean, we're like 8 billion people on this planet, so yeah, please share it in the comments. I'm really curious about this. As you see, while drawing the mountains, I again add a few more lines for cliffs, so the shady side can appear more diverse. And then, because I get tired of the mountains, I get back to the trees where I finally finish them. Well, at least this on the right side. So I was not sure till the last moment what I wanted to have in my May theme. Usually I draw bees like 2 years in a row. You can check out this in my other YouTube videos. They're lovely themes, but they're also black and white, and I didn't want to do black and white bee for a third time. And luckily for me, one of my closest friends invited me to go to the mountains, winter mountains in my country where we have snow, and we did ski touring, which was amazing experience. Like, I loved it. every single bit of it. We were skiing, we were hiking, and then we were going a bit of free riding. So yeah, if you're watching this, Donnie, this theme is entirely inspired from our weekend together. Here for you, the viewers, I'm gonna share a few beautiful pictures from the entire adventure, and I hope that in the next winter season I will have more time to practice this amazing hobby. For now, I leave you to enjoy the mountains with a nice elevator background music. And it's time to start doing the lake. I think that this was the hardest part in this drawing. Usually the mountains are, the shading there. I've been drawing mountains in my entire life, so they're like easy peasy for me. But the lake, oh my god. I needed to make the impression of water mirroring the trees above, so I really did my best here. At first I started outlining the trees with a smaller micron. I think here I'm working with 005. Here is where I use it only in my entire theme. So yeah, I just try to replicate the shadows but in a really lighter version, and at the end I also do lines above, like the water waves of the lake. Not every lake is like completely plain on the top, so yeah, I think it turned out well. And to be honest, so far I think I'm ready with my bottom part of the theme. Of course, right now I'm gonna do my calendar. I love calendars, so it's gonna be a simple calendar. It's not gonna be a stamp. Usually I like stamps because I'm doing that much calendars that I truly lose a lot of time of just writing numbers, like too much time. And yeah, but this time I just felt like, hey, I can just give 3 minutes of my time and do the calendar straight. I add the name of the month, and now of course my mind is like, you need to add something more. It cannot be that minimalistic. I have a real problem, guys, here. So I decided to not write a quote, acknowledge that, and I decided to do some magic here. Not like the Northern Lights, but I don't know, just some dot work that I usually enjoy a lot. When I started doing this yearly theme, black and white, I imagined that I would do a lot of dot work in my journal, like truly. I imagine each month to be a dot work, but unfortunately, if you're doing dots, it takes a lot of time to finish the drawing. So this year, because of some reasons, I am really busy at my work, and I don't have that much time, unfortunately. I would really love to do more complicated themes, but I guess that everything has its time, and this year is not the time of complicated themes. We're gonna see for the next year. But yeah, I couldn't resist, however, this time, and I decided to do some dot work here, which I think turned out amazing. I do some kind of like Northern Lights, so I'm gonna talk more about here the dot work. If you wanna do something like this, usually you just have a field that you need to fill with dots, like I do here. You see, it's like a Coca-Cola sign. And to do it more pleasant to the eye, in the middle I add more thicker dots. Here I think I'm using micron 08, which has a perfect purpose of doing thicker dots which stay around, because this is the important thing. And of course in the center I do them more concentrated in this way, and the drawing appears like they're diffusing with the time and in the dimensions around it. By the way, this is the first video that I'm truly talking with you without any scenario or points. I just open my editing program and see what I'm doing and just talking. So sorry for any grammar mistake, guys. Usually I just have a simple scenario that I read from, but the unfortunate thing is that scenarios are taking a lot of time to do, and I truly wanted to share this theme with you. And if I needed to write a scenario and then read it and then think about my perfect English, which is not, but yeah, if I needed to think about my perfect English, probably I was not gonna post this video in time. So yeah. Thank you for your support and probably listening to me already for 10 minutes. Oh yeah, and I forgot, I actually add a few more shadowing with gray Faber-Castell pen. Nothing important. I mean, I truly don't see the difference, so you can skip that one too. By the way, if you like this video so far, don't forget to give it a like or even subscribe to the channel. I really put a lot of effort for these videos. Of course, it's not my main job, so I have a lot of other stuff to do in my life, but I truly enjoy sharing them with you. And yeah. So we're finished with our May cover page. I think it turned out amazing, and I hardly resisted to do anything else here. Like I really wanted to do a moon or a quote, but I decided to leave this one minimalistic because usually winter mountains are enough. The next page that I'm gonna do is my monthly planner. It's one of my favorite pages, but I do it in every single monthly spread since like 5 months, I think, or 6 months. It really works for me. I have goals field, I have a monthly planner field where basically I write all bigger events here, and it really helps me to basically mind map my entire month. Of course, I need to add some mountains here to be coherent with the entire theme. And I decided to play a little bit with the fields on the page, like for example, the field for June, which I'm gonna talk more about it, by the way. The field for June is actually behind the mountain, and the calendar field is in front of the mountain. I think I really like this effect. I mean, it turned out, I think, amazing. So for June theme, this is becoming one of my favorite fields on this page, because usually I'm doing my themes month by month, like probably most of you do the same. So in the beginning of May, I'm gonna have a lot of stuff that is for June, because you know, their tasks, they pop up. I cannot do them in May. So yeah, this is the field like to transfer it for the next month. It's a typical bullet journal box. I don't remember right now in the book bullet journals how it was called, like inventory, monthly inventory, I think. But yeah, it's a really useful field, because as we're doing our journals month by month, which is amazing. In this way we can achieve this diversity, and in this way we can do weekly spreads that actually fit our daily lives, which is the goal, at least for me. A brain dump, but specifically for tasks for the other month. I had it in my last month, which is April. Yeah, I have it in my April, and here I'm gonna post a picture of how it looks. Yeah, just write some tasks and the dates that I need to fill them later in May when I upload this video and start basically using the May theme. You know, usually I film one weekly spread, but this time I was short on time while recording this video, and I think that mountains are not that diverse. I mean, you can just later see my Instagram pictures for inspiration. You basically have all the knowledge right now in this video and those 3 pages that I'm doing here. Or I'm gonna upload them as a YouTube short or Instagram reel. I have no idea, just stay tuned, guys, I guess. And now my last page that I'm doing is my social planner. Is again a page that I'm doing for 5 months in a row, and I have nothing to add it. I mean, it really helps me sticking out with my schedule, although It's funny because usually in my Instagram profile I'm active at the end of the month, and then I just forget about it for 2 weeks, and then I come back at the end of the month when I remember that I need to do another theme. It's just life, you know. I mean, I have a lot of stuff on my mind going on right now. Unfortunately, not all of them are good stuff, but hey, this is life. I mean, we always look from the sunny side, right? I do the mountains even more simpler than the other pages. Of course, here the mountains are smaller, so I can allow myself to do simpler mountains. You see the triangles are way more simple, and I just do a quick sketch of adding more darker shadows on the mountains, and yeah. Really easy theme, as I said. I think I really like drawing mountains because I can do them in different styles depending on what I want to use them for my bullet journal or for birthday card or for drawing. I think everybody can draw them, literally everybody. And sometimes in our busy everyday life, it's really precious when you have something time-saving. Well, artsy bullet journaling is not time-saving, let's face it, guys. I mean, sometimes it takes me 5 or 6 hours to make a theme, and this is only in the first 3 or 4 pages. And through the month I add weekly spreads with drawing, so it's time consuming, but it's like therapeutic for me, and probably for you too if you're watching this video. So yeah, high five. I think that was all for today, guys. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the weekly spreads that are gonna pop up as reels or YouTube short. If you enjoyed this video, again, a reminder to give it a like, or if you want to see other videos of me talking nonsense for like 15 minutes, just subscribe to the channel. I promise I won't spam your homepage a lot because I'm just posting once in a month. So, yep. Thank you for watching, guys, and see you next time. Until then, don't forget to stay on the sunny side.